Right. And
Yeah.
that's a very important point. Why is it that you just prohibit the kid from doing something? You prohibit, your child from doing something, but you do not educate them on A, what that is, and B, why they should not be doing it. And really, there is a C component there, the benefit of not doing it. What is it that you will be given in return for not doing it? Okay. But yes, again, this effort is turning out to really be, pushed by the youth. And that, to be very frank and direct, I mean, that is surprising to me because I did not think about who would be the main factor in, bringing this effort to a full developing movement, And it's really, because again, I think a lot of times adults get so tied up into how important adults are, and they forget that the kid or the youngsters, the youth, are human beings too. They forget that these are going to be, after some time, these are going to be the leaders and the administrators of the community tomorrow. You understand? So they feel, when they forget that they're even human beings, never mind caring about what they think, never mind caring about how they feel, never mind caring about what they're saying. None of that stuff matters because they're kids and we tell them what to do, what they need to do to make a comfortable life. That's it. So this is the mentality a lot of the adults, the elders have, and it's not all 100% their fault either because, a lot of them were raised the same way. How they're raising their kids today, as far as they're concerned, it is their culture, and as a matter of fact, it is more necessary today for their children because they're living in America with all the distractions. You understand? As opposed for them, they lived back home where they were quote unquote Muslim countries and there were not all these distractions. And yet our parents were still really stern with us. What our parents did to us, we're not doing to these kids. This is the mentality that they have. But again, they're forgetting that the children are indeed human beings. Tomorrow, they are going to be the ones who are going to take responsibilities that we actually have today. You have to care about what they're thinking. You have to care about what they're curious about. You have to understand that needs to be nourished. You can't just let a person have a curiosity that you do not cater somehow or another to. There's risk involved. See? So, excuse me, for that reason, the child needs to be educated and prepared for the purpose that is of the Muslim citizen, for the purpose in which has to do with the identity of the Muslim citizen, the responsibility of a Muslim citizen. Muslims have a discipline. The Quran has a discipline. The Deen is a discipline. Learning anything, you have discipline in it. Let's not take it, too far out. But as long as you have the problem with the educational system that you have, and you also have the problem where there is so much darkness and so many practices that are based on doubt, as long as you have the muharrimat and the people who are not fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wrath, this situation will remain as it is. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed does promise, even if it's a very small party, He will aid them even if it's after some time, no matter how small this party is. You understand? So, the youth are possibly, I would think the youth and the elders, there's the elderly. I'm not going to say elders, I'm going to say elderly. You know, I feel that there are many of elders, as I told you before, who cannot get out of bed. You know, they're Muslim, but they cannot cater for themselves. They cannot even come to these places. And we are heading in that direction if we really think that we're going to be living on this earth for another 30 years, brother. You understand?
Yes, bro.
You know?
All right, so good finding, brother. So let's
I think, well, one more thing I want to say. The Department of Social Welfare, this thing, I mean, it is a necessity, and I see it growing just as strong as a tree trunk. There are many, you know, especially, you know, when you stop to consider the areas of current operation, you know, when you talk about the West, or if you talk about the, you know, again, North, because a family from North Dakota yesterday, right? Those 3 girls that were standing, they were from North Dakota. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
But what they were saying applied to what's going on right here in Richmond, Virginia. You understand? So really, the point is that these matters, they really do have an impact on the Muslim community at large. And I want to say it's not just the Muslim, you know, communities in the Western Hemisphere. I think it is a, you know, a global effect, or I should say it has a global impact on Muslim communities everywhere. You know, this is what you know, I mean, the point really is that the youth, or not just the minority of that particular category, but minorities in general do not have a voice. If a person feels that they are, if they're somehow intimidated to feel that they are a minority, they are a second-class citizen, they do not have the rights of a first-class citizen. So therefore, their voice does not matter. How they feel does not matter. What they're thinking does not concern anybody else. Keep it to themselves. We don't want to know your needs. We don't want to know your fears, anything. We don't care about you at all. All we care about is the fact that you are just another number in the population. So you be paying taxes at some point in your life. That's all we care about. But that is called exploitation. And it's this same model that the Muslims, you know, unfortunately, and not every single Muslim, you know, is what I'm talking about. But the larger Muslim organizations, this is the model that they actually have. You know, and this is something that, you know, it's an awakening, because a lot of people, you know, they practically understood that people are toying with Islam, but they did not realize how much they were toying and what that toying led to as far as kufr and shirk and nifaq and so on. But now when people are waking up and realizing that and know that there's the effort that is ongoing to reduce the risk that is involved with that, in order to understand, you have to have the conversation, the dialogue about the matter. And that is exactly what happened. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Well, inshallah, what we're going to do, I think we will meet up and discuss that. Maybe in the next 24 or 48, well, no. Let's leave it until sometime in the week when you're free. Just, schedule it. Let's schedule it when you're free. All right? If you get free after Monday, because that's your deadline, correct?
Deadline?
For your work to be turned in. That's when you're... Okay. But, yeah, inshallah. So after Monday, just reach out to me, inshallah, and let me know. And we're going to schedule, because the Department of Finance is another one also, Department of Finance, to make it, to draw up very important, to draw up the whole program for the Finance Department. And the reasons behind that also very, 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 very important. But, again, when we meet up, we will, inshallah, we will dig into that in social welfare, these two. Because within social welfare, you have education as well. You have to educate people. It's not just giving them, but give them knowledge of the deen. This is social welfare. This has da'wah in it, everything social welfare, brother.
Yeah.
And gives them a smile, brother. Teach them about the smile. Brother, the smile is crucial, brother. The smile is very important. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam always had a smile. You believe in Prophet, you believe in his mission, but you don't smile. Brother, I mean, you can say that you have a lot of deficiencies as a Muslim, which is okay to say. I don't really care that non-practicing thing. You can say that Sahabas, they had stronger iman than us. You can say all that. But you cannot say that I cannot smile. You cannot say that I cannot have a good smile. You cannot say that. I don't know anybody who would openly say that. As a matter of fact, I know quite the opposite. I knew of somebody, this was about 20 years ago, I knew somebody who was always with a frown on their face. Like they did not have every time I saw this person, and I've known them at least for 4 years, and every time I seen this person would not be smiling. So, when it came to who this person was, someone once asked me or brought up the person's name. I said, oh, that person, they don't smile. Come to find out that the person I thought they were referring to was different from the person that I had actually taken it to have been. But the word still got back to that person whose name was brought up, that exact person. And the next time they saw me, they said, wait a second. They went and they got a smiley sticker that had a stick on it, and they stuck it in between their lips, and they showed me their face with a smiley face between their lips, and I laughed. So that's just to give you an idea of how, I really do not see any person who has any honor or dignity or the liking to say that they do not have a beautiful smile. They do not have a good smile. You understand? But you're not encouraging love of brotherhood and, Quranic siblingship You're not encouraging that. You don't care about that. You want to follow the model of the Yahud and the Nasara. So this is the issue. For me, when you say a lot of muharrimat are going on, it's because of the fact that people do not care about the punishment that's involved. They're not caring, they don't have the knowledge. A lot of people do not have the understanding of how this really deprives you and me of the akhirah. Our sins, not caring about them. Our impurities, not being mindful of them. Our deeds, being wasteful of them. Our resources, being extravagant about them. Our means and being boastful about them. This is arrogance. We should all care about the fact that not even a smallest seed of arrogance enters the Jannah. And that this would take us to the hellfire, wa na'udhu billah, and consider that we may be among them. And therefore be fearful as equally as hopeful in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. And know that be the better for us in order to wake up ourselves and those around us. And be among those whom Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam encouraged to visit the weak, assist the poor, help the destitute, be friends to those who are needy, be friends to those who are weak. And this is the backbone of Al-Islam. Give salams amongst yourself. Aid each other as you are brothers in the eyes of Allah Jalla Jalalu. Until we get that, brother, I don't see all these problems, going away just by themselves, And that alone. This is the Sirat al-Mustaqim. This is all that, it has to be on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. Okay, brother, inshallah, we'll talk.
Inshallah.
Jazakallahu khairan, barakallahu feekum. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.